Big thank you to DraftKings for being one of our sponsors for the event. Snake's the most popular one, and that's because Train does it and xQc does it, right? They started to reach out to me, and this is when I was averaging like 20,000 viewers. xQc is probably 30 million more richer. That's what happened. You do. Don't you dare say it's only 30 million. The real question on everyone's mind is, when is Mizkif moving to Canada? When is Mizkif going to start gambling? I would totally, if someone said, Miz, sign this right now and we're going to not stream for a whole week, I would say, can we do longer?
Hi. Today I'm going to be talking about an issue that's very close to my heart, okay? Kids gambling. More of them need to be doing... No, I'm just kidding. But we're going to be talking about how Mizkif may have entered into the land of hypocrisy. This cardinal sin of any content creator, being a hypocrite. The medium by which he has entered this bear trap is that he has basically been promoting DraftKings as a sponsor of a Twitch approved event that he is a part of, basically.
Hey, what up, guys? Melee 3 is going to be happening this Saturday at 1:30 p.m. on my Twitch channel. A big thank you to DraftKings for being one of our sponsors for the event. Download DraftKings now and use code Mizkif when you sign up. And we'll see you Saturday.
Why is this an issue? Well, it's an issue because back about a year or two ago, before kick.com or whatever.tv became a thing, Mizkif was a part of the kind of brigade, I guess you could say, or the push or the movement to ban gambling off of Twitch, all right? This was a big controversy at the time. You had basically like Pokimane, Hassan, Mizkif more than likely kind of opportunistically just going with popular opinion. You also had people like H3 who were basically like, dude, you got to get this fucking slots bullshit off of Twitch.
The one thing I wanted to talk to you about is back to this metaphor of you being in a family, and then you find out like your kids who are like maybe 18, maybe a little younger, are playing slot machines.
Well, are they winning?
So having the audience watching you gamble, nothing good is going to come out of that for any of them. It's all bad. It's all bad. And there's a reason why you have to be 21 years old to gamble. It's a vice. It's when you're too young, you can't handle that stimulation. You can't handle that addiction. It's very, very, very dangerous.
100%. Nah, I see what you're...
Mizkif kind of jumped in on it, and obviously much to the dismay of people like Trainwrecks, xQc, who had made that a large portion of their content. Obviously in the case of Trainwrecks, just basically their entire content over time.
Fucking... Oh shit! Oh shit! We did it! We did it! We did it! We did it! 2020.
That resulted in kick.tv being created, and now we come to a time where it seems like Mizkif is accepting money from a gambling company. Now this gambling company, DraftKings, is a sports betting website, okay? So there's an argument to be made that it is a bit different, right? Like if you're not okay at all with kids watching slots on Twitch, literally watching the act of gambling on Twitch and being, funneled into these unregulated fucking websites that have, crypto gambling, I could understand why. I could understand. And I would agree that it is slightly different than, DraftKings, which is sports betting and that is regulated, and the actual content that's being watched is not just, the gambling on DraftKings, right? But there's still absolutely a degree of hypocrisy, in my opinion, right? Because at the end of the day, it's obvious, right, that, of course, a large reason as to why, DraftKings would even sponsor this Melee event, which at first, dude, I thought it was just like Super Smash Bros. Melee. Like, I thought that Mizkif was hosting a Smash tournament and they were sponsored by a sports gambling website. I was like, huh, okay. But it turns out that Mizkif is actually just unironically hosting a fighting, like MMA style tournament, which is not something I would have expected from Mizkif, but it seems like, I don't know, he's taken kind of a bit of a dude bro turn over the last couple of years. He's gotten kind of obsessed with the gym, gotten a little bit violent in some cases.
Mitch Jones smells. Mitch Jones, I hate you. Go to hell.
But yeah, let's unpack what people are saying real quick and see if we think it's justified, okay? So we have this guy saying, Mizkif, Pokimane, and Hassan Abi push strong for Twitch to ban gambling, but Mizkif is now sponsored by DraftKings. Okay, so here's the video.
Hey, what up, guys? Melee 3 is going to be happening this Saturday.
Okay, so Melee 3, I believe, is the name of this, event, which I thought was like Super Smash Bros. Melee, but it's literally just fighting, MMA. So
at 1:30 p.m. on my Twitch channel. A big thank you to DraftKings for being one of our sponsors for the event. Download DraftKings now and use code Mizkif when you sign up, and we'll see you Saturday.
Like if Twitch should ban gambling.
all right, so hashtag Twitch stop gambling. Like if Twitch should ban gambling. Twitch isn't doing anything about it because gambling is too big an industry and generates revenue. It's also capturing the pro sports scene aggressively as well. Yeah, true. That's why public pressure is necessary in my opinion. Obviously, they won't do anything as long as it's free money for them, but that's not an outcome I want or am okay with. Twitch has rules in place for anyone promoting or streaming self-destructive behavior, and the fact that promoting actual gambling is not a part of that is ridiculous, as most of, if not all of the time, it is a self-destructive behavior. Promoting gambling on stream should be banned. Talk to him, Rambo. Right. And so this is basically just showing the past controversy, like prior to Twitch officially banning gambling. That was kind of what those content creators were saying. I've seen people argue, and there is a little bit of coherence to this framing, okay? Like, it's not 100% the case, but definitely it's a factor. When, slots gambling on Twitch was at its zenith, which was around the time that it got banned, it was absolutely pulling away from other streamers, right? Like, other big streamers definitely on some dimension felt that it was a threat to their own, popularity or growth or whatever.
It's allowed on Twitch, and he goes up in viewership. And the thing is, yeah, he's got 2 fucking massively disgusting hate threads on live stream fails right now, but he's at 102,000 viewers right now playing casino slots. I bet you a lot of streamers wouldn't do it as much because it would tank their viewership, but it goes up. In the world of a streamer, it's the perfect fucking storm of a sponsor.
Right? Yes, of course, some of them probably did care about the negative ecosystem it was fostering, right? Like the audiences that it was attracting and the kids that it was absolutely fucking influencing. I mean, look, that's just a fact, okay? Slots on Twitch, I'll say it, man. Let's just say that there was a direct correlation between slots being on Twitch and my brother's second monitors being either Trainwrecks or them playing slots themselves. You understand? And so, while that is true, that the criticisms that were being levied at, the people who were streaming gambling, there's absolute coherence to them. There's also a dimension where it's like, I got rid of some of my competition, So there's a bit, there's definitely like a potential for opportunism among these content creators, right? And in the case of Mizkif, it does seem like it was a little bit opportunistic. So let's just see if it goes any deeper.
A few weeks after Aiden Ross was offered $1.6 million to gamble on stream, Mizkif turned down $35,000 an hour to do the same. The reason he denied the partnership was because he felt like crap for promoting gambling.
Stake. Everyone knows Stake. Stake's the most popular one, and that's because Train does it and xQc does it, right? They started to reach out to me. And this is when I was averaging like 20,000 viewers. I've grown. These companies were coming to me. They're like, hey, we want you to stream on our website, gamble, and we are willing to pay you $35,000 an hour. It's very weird. I wasn't getting ever. That was double any sponsorship I ever got in my entire life. Next question I had to ask is, hey, if you like Aiden Ross so much and you watched him, did you ever gamble on Stake? I would totally, if someone said, Miz, sign this right now and we're going to not stream for a whole week, I would say, can we do longer? I would totally be down. I'll say, look, I'll take someone else's time too.
I mean,
Yo.
I really
like
Charlie?
your idea of doing it Q4 around Christmas too, because that'll hurt the most.
Oh, I see. Okay, so this was them, I guess, almost like trying to plan a strike, a content creator strike on Twitch. That's actually fascinating. Oh, wow. Can't believe they were actually thinking about doing that. But, okay, so what was shown there basically was that Mizkif claimed basically he denied about $35K a day, apparently, which is to gamble on his, Twitch page, a sponsorship offer basically from like stake.com or whatever. And look, here's the thing that I will concede and say. This is 100% true. There is absolutely a tangible and very real difference between accepting a sponsor like DraftKings, which is sports betting, for an MMA event, right? Like an event that he's hosting that costs him money that he's obviously taking on the sponsor in some part to fund the event, right? There's a difference between that and actually streaming the action of gambling to his 20,000 viewers and being sponsored by the gambling company while doing it, right? Those are very not fucking the same, okay? There's levels to this shit. And so it could be the case that the event needed a sponsor. DraftKings was just an obvious choice they offered or whatever. And, you know, it was accepted because whatever, they wanted the money, right? That I would get it. There is absolutely an element of hypocrisy, okay? But it isn't like one for one the same as, you know, what Mizkif was prior offered, okay? But yes, I mean, it can't be denied. Like, of course, DraftKings is sponsoring the event because they think that Mizkif's viewers, at least enough of them to justify the expense, will go and gamble on their website. Whether it's sports betting or slots, it's still gambling, right? There's no coping about that. And so, while DraftKings is obviously, you know, regulated or whatever, Mizkif, by taking on this sponsor, is obviously accepting that he is influencing a portion of his audience toward a gambling site where they will lose money, right? That's the trade-off. You can't take a sponsor from a gambling company and be like, none of my audience members will lose money off this, right? No, that's the entire premise. I'm just kidding. You only win when you gamble. It's the quitters that lose. You agree with me, right? We're good. But yeah, let's look into this a little bit more and see how, you know, worthy this is as a fucking drama, right? So that's Devin Nash. They're basically, I can't believe it, dude. They're actually planning a content creator strike at Christmas. I wonder what would have come of that. I really do. I wonder how much leverage Twitch streamers, the top ones, actually have over Twitch if they actually pulled off a strike. Okay, and so here, this is where it gets juicy. Here is xQc and Trainwrecks' reaction to Mizkif basically taking on a gambling sponsor to run his event, okay? Obviously, these are two guys who were very heavily impacted by Twitch banning gambling, okay? So, let's see how they feel. I'm imagining they're going to react in a funny way.
Time is going to be Zeno catching a glimpse and full stack here on 8, and it's not the wrong read.
So this is him showing Mizkif standing there awkwardly promoting DraftKings, which is kind of funny.
He wants to be more involved in the fights and the action.
Holy shit.
Already backing towards B.
Oh my.
Opportunity. The time is going to be
No
very low
fucking
here.
way.
Not going to get this towards half. Takes a little bit of damage, but he's got
There is
an
no
opportunity.
fucking way.
And he's definitely got time.
That's insane.
He doesn't have the
There is no
So that's Trainwreck's reaction. I have a lot to say, actually. I'm having a lot of thoughts, but let's see what these guys say.
way, right?
There is the way.
I love the timing on that swing from Benji. As soon as that tap on that spike comes in again, the swing's coming in before any possibility of reacting to it. But he ends with those
He said that is, let's be honest, predictable.
first two
Of course
opening
it's
kills,
predictable, but at this
dodging
point, like,
that
I'll tell you who it's
C's
most
plus Pink Shell's
embarrassing
combo
for,
behind
like-
Rubble and getting 2 kills off the back of it. That was the difference
The most
maker
embarrassing
in
for
this
Dan
round.
Clancy.
We don't get to see this guy
Most embarrassing is Clancy. I don't even know who Clancy is.
on that Viper, on get to, you know,
It's not
play
even
these
a
rounds
joke
out.
at Miz.
So being able to
It's
see
just
him
the
change
fact
that up and get
that
value,
it's
really nice.
It's like almost a
Be careful with
scripted
this
story.
scoreline now as
It's almost like a scripted story.
well.
Twitch bans
Has to be
stake
5-1,
as it is
likely here,
anti-gambling.
considering it's only shares.
Amazon takes the
It's a couple
drafting
of really
partnership.
nearby,
The person that was at the
so maybe
forefront of
with
the
Mazzino on his
anti-gamba
rifle,
now promotes drafting the Amazon
Something
licensed
said about
gambling
it.
thing. It's like you
Right.
cannot make,
Shows
you
stuff
cannot script this.
That's actually very funny. Actually interesting that xQc is painting the picture for me. So, okay, so this seems to be the train of events. Train. Basically, it seems like Twitch bans gambling, specifically, especially from stake.com, right? Because that is unregulated gambling, sorry. And then, guess what? Amazon accepts some kind of deal or sponsorship with DraftKings, right? Like Amazon, the fucking massive company, starts working with DraftKings. And suddenly, Mizkif is accepting sponsorships from DraftKings. And so what he's basically elucidating is it goes even beyond just criticizing Mizkif at this point. What he's just basically explaining is literally just the power games that occur with these massive capital conglomerates, right? This goes beyond, you know, just hypocrisy or corruption or greed. This is literally what happens when capital enters a domain, okay? Simple fucking equation to understand. Obviously, the second that, you know, Amazon wants to partner with DraftKings, wants to work with them, whatever, they realize Twitch is a good avenue for us to, you know, basically promote this, right? It's like a evergreen marketplace, right? Because they literally banned gambling. And so, of course, Mizkif is like basically, you know, I wouldn't say a slave, that's not the right word, but he is leashed, okay? He is attached to a fucking leash. And who is the owner? Who's the one holding that leash? Amazon or Twitch, right? Twitch is a platform. Mizkif has a lot invested in Twitch as a platform, right? And since he basically is a good dog, right? He, you know, doesn't bite the hand that feeds. He does not bite the hand that feeds. He gets rewarded, right? You know, whether it be through Twitch helping to run this big event that he's hosting, right? Because Twitch is actually like one of the, main facilitators of this MMA event, this melee event, okay? Or in the form of Mizkif getting to talk to the actual CEO of Twitch.
But now for this person, I have a different ad for you, a different ad, right? And so I think over time that problem naturally goes away.
Like, that's crazy, right? It's pretty simple. Rest in peace to Susan Wojcicki, of course, of YouTube. But if you knew how to play ball with YouTube in the sense of you just kind of didn't get in their way, right, financially or in a PR sense, some people got to actually meet Susan Wojcicki, right? Like Ludwig, who was actually getting paid by YouTube through a YouTube contract. And of course, he would be the type of person, someone who's willing to play ball, who will not bite the hand that feeds. He was the person who got to grill Susan Wojcicki about, YouTube as a platform removing the dislike feature.
When you did dislikes, you probably knew, because you have forensic analysts, that it was going to go bad. What, how does that work? Are you guys like in the room sweating when it's about to be released? Like, how's it going to be received?
So first of all, we do try to understand when we release any new feature, whether or not it's going to go well or not. And I will say that sometimes we get it wrong. So there are times where there's something we're super stressed about, and then the community's like, oh, that's not a big deal. Or there are times that we release something, like we had no idea that the Rewind video in 2018 was going to go badly. Like,
wait,
no idea.
The
most disliked video on the internet.
Yeah, you guys got boomed.
Yeah,
on that
right.
one.
Which absolutely, in my opinion, that did not empower viewers, obviously, and it also, in my opinion, did not empower content creators. But that's just my opinion, right? And so, yes, it seems like Mizkif basically just understands his role as, there's a leash attached to my neck and I cannot displease Twitch. And Twitch obviously wanted this medium to be, integrated with DraftKings. And so Mizkif, yes, at the end of the day, it does come down to money. It comes down to opportunity. It comes down to seeing the long-term potential of his career. And he chose to align with what the executives effectively wanted, okay? Now, let's talk more about why gambling was really banned on Twitch, okay? Because when gambling was banned on Twitch, I was surprised, sincerely surprised, okay? Because Pokimane, her argument, that the main one she was making, it was pretty coherent. It's like, well, actually, gambling on Twitch is attracting a fuckload of viewers, a lot of engagement, whatever. But there's two things that are missing from that assessment and that I didn't think about at the time. Number one is that, yeah, okay, it's attracting all this, whatever, but it is pulling people away from Twitch, the site, right? Like, it's literally funneling people off of Twitch and onto stake.com to gamble themselves, which Twitch is not cut in on the revenue from that, right? And number two, in my opinion, the biggest variable here is, guess what? Pretty simple. What do big companies, especially media companies, big ones, need to worry about more than most businesses? Government regulation, okay? Twitch, I think they must have had a meeting where they weighed the pros and cons, the long-term potential of hosting this slots content, and they must have realized, okay, this is reaching quite a fever pitch. More than likely, at some point, this content is going to get clamped down on, cracked down by local or federal, potentially, governments, right? You have to keep in mind, right, that gambling on stake or Roobet or any of these crypto gambling websites, you're not technically allowed to do these things, I believe, within the United States, right? So like influencers like Steve Will Do It or Trainwrecks, they moved to different countries to gamble this content, even though they're on kick.com. Like, I'm pretty sure Trainwrecks moved to Vancouver. Steve Will Do It moved, I believe, where did he move? Okay, let's see. Oh, Nicaragua, right. Okay, so look at this. So this is Steve Will Do It. He is a guy, I don't know if you know anything about Steve Will Do It, but he popped off basically for his involvement with the Nelk boys, okay? He was a guy who would basically do anything. He was like a young shoe nice. He would just down loads of alcohol, okay? Sorry. But anyway, I thought he was going to be a one-trick pony, but this new gambling avenue opened a lot of doors for Steve Will Do It, and he basically became, a representative of the biggest, crypto gambling companies, and now he gets paid a lot of money to pretty much, shill them, but he has to live in Nicaragua when he gambles, okay? Because that's the law. It's like these unregulated crypto gambling sites can't operate in the US. Guess what? They still do. All right? Because it's crypto and people can get past all these regulations and whatever. But of course, the content creators have to at least, pretend like, oh yeah, it's only people outside of the US who can do this, right?
Just got to my house. Unbelievable. Look at this. Look at this.
So this is his house in Nicaragua.
We got a sauna. cold plunge. It's gonna be a hydrogen bath. Making a movie theater room. Unbelievable. Love you guys so much. Streaming tonight, Roulette.
Mm-hmm.
Have so much fun. New wanted slot. Look, I brought the dogs. Unbelievable, dude. Look at this. Love you guys. Gonna get in the pool. Go get some food. Karaoke night in Nicaragua. Ooh, love you guys.
Right. And so obviously Steve is, you know, to a degree selling a lifestyle. He's selling the success in order to bait people to go and gamble on Roulette so that they can lose their money and fund his lifestyle. That is the relationship, okay? I understand nobody really wants to accept that their occupation or their primary source of income is lecherous, right? It's like, you know, leading to people losing money, right? Like, and basically making them worse off in life. But if you're going to promote gambling, you have to accept that, in my opinion. That's anything otherwise, it's a cope, right? Now, of course, you can have whatever moral stance you want on gambling. You can think it should be legal, but like, you can't cope on that front. The reason the gambling operations can survive is because people lose. Yeah, okay. Not everyone loses everything, but some people do, right? Now, all that aside, that in my head must be the real reason that Twitch cracked down. They realized, okay, fuck, if we don't limit this, real regulations will come down on us. And these big companies do not want the government sniffing up their asses, okay? YouTube does the same shit. They absolutely do not want governments regulating the content. And so what do? They preemptively regulate content to prevent that, right? You saw this during COVID. You saw this during a couple of crises, right? Like it's the ones I could mention, but I would rather not. But basically, what happens? Do you think that YouTube necessarily really cares or takes a stance on these issues? Maybe to a small degree, but the real reason that they start algorithmically influencing and adding all these, you know, things on their websites and these clarifications and et cetera, is because they want to prevent governments from making them do it. It's a way for them to maintain the leverage they have and to not make the government too used to or emboldened to basically tell YouTube or, you know, in this case, Twitch, what to do, right? So yes, Twitch is not actually against gambling. Shocking. They just didn't like the negative PR potential, but especially the potential for government regulation. And they maybe to a small degree wanted to placate their, you know, top fucking Twitch creators. Very small degree, in my opinion. Even though they might blow out or, you know, claim to be as prolific as whatever, I think that was a very small part of the equation, okay? Enter DraftKings. This is a publicly listed company, okay? They are, you know, regulated, right? Like the government approves of them. They are, you know, controlled, right? And they are offering a lot of money to advertise on Twitch. Well, of course, Twitch will fold, especially in a time where, you know, a lot of platforms, they want advertiser money. They want, you know, to encourage businesses to come toward them. At the end of the day, the whole PR thing, right? Like the whole branding of like, oh, we want to protect children. It's usually largely cope advertising, right? This is kind of what I'm getting at. It's like, is Mizkif a bad guy for this? You could argue it, right? But in my head, it's more about just understanding that when your principles get in the way of capital, there is a cost. When there's a cost to enforcing your principles, most people cave, okay? And they don't necessarily cave because they're evil. They don't even necessarily cave because they're greedy. They cave because it is rational. It is in their interest. And especially these people who are, you know, business owners, et cetera, they are programmed to act in their fucking interest. Not even just because they want to make money, they do, but because they also want to a degree protect what they have, right? Like if Mizkif just puts up a big stink and doesn't accept this DraftKings sponsor, well then guess what? Twitch could easily just be like, okay, we're not helping you, fuck off. And then the event could go disastrously, right? Or it could just get canned because Twitch literally controls the platform. You understand? So this is not me excusing Mizkif. You can call him a hypocrite, you can call him all these things, but I want you to understand the larger implications of why he might be, you know, compromised, because it is a compromise to an extent, right? As we've gone over, it's not the same as running slots to the audience, but it's absolutely in a similar-ish camp, right? So yeah, let's see if there's any more, I guess, juice here.
Now as well,
Twitch bans stake as it is anti-gambling. Amazon takes the DraftKings partnership. The person that was at the forefront of the anti-gamba now promotes DraftKings, the Amazon licensed gambling thing. It's like you cannot script this. This is some fucking.
To be fair though, bro, what you're saying, it's like a movie, but it's what it is really just like math. This is math. This is how business works. This is how business interests work, right? There are in groups and there are out groups, right? There are groups who get accepted until they're a threat to the business, and then they get ousted, and then a more safe option gets adopted, right? Anyway. And that's not me saying it's a good thing. Let me be clear. I'm just telling you how it fucking works so you're aware.
About this.
And it also gets worse. I don't know if you saw the other site that all the other streamers who were also at the forefront.
No shot. ACR hasn't paid out dozens of creators for sponsored streams from well over a year ago, myself included. ACR contracted endgame talent and blames them for ripping them off. While that complicates things, I spoke with ACR CEO who promised to make things right but instead ghosted. They are not trustworthy. Big streamer Ludwig says that America's Card Room refused to pay him out. He says it's his biggest regret in working with a sponsor and that they are a dog shit site. Oh boy, there's a lot of lore going on here, boys.
We're all getting sponsorships by that site ended up scamming people.
Oh!
Out of all the sponsors you've done, which one have you redded? Right.
The one that we didn't take it.
Yeah.
The one that declined. Oh my god.
What is America's Card? I have no clue what the fuck this is. America's Card Room. No way, dude. Okay, understood. So a poker, right. This makes sense. Okay. So a poker website, which is still gambling, by the way. Playing poker is gambling, right? Of course, there's elements of control, and you could argue you're using brain, but it's gambling, right? So a lot of streamers seems like accepted poker sponsors and claim that it's a scam. I'm excited and proud to start this new venture. Greater poker site for all players. Why do we play poker anywhere else? Home of, tournaments. Okay, understood. Interesting, man. And so this, I caught wind of this, but Ludwig basically said this was his worst sponsor ever because they didn't even pay him out. Which obviously kind of is a testament to like the lack of discretion, the lack of, real authentic trust that some of these streamers have with the companies that they're promoting blindly to their audiences, right? Just on the basis of they'll pay us, I guess. So yeah, it's an interesting fucking avenue of critique. Let's finish watching xQc. Blood's kind of spitting right now. I'm kind of fascinated. I love learning about this shit, man, because this is literally just understanding the actual politics and business relationships existing between Twitch streamers. It's just shit you just usually would not be aware of. It's cool.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Like it's like
bro. I literally said it. I literally told I told everybody in my agents, everybody that knew about the deal. I said it. This looks too good to be true. I wouldn't do it.
Wow. So xQc is claiming that he denied a sponsorship from this poker gambling website. Take that for what you will. It's xQc saying that, I guess. But I mean, it would make sense for him to be sponsored by this company, right? So interesting.
Right? And they end up not paying out anybody. ACR, America's Card Room. They end up paying out nobody for all their sponsorships. People.
How much were the deals? How much were they?
Bro.
They got scammed so hard.
Bro, it was amounts that like.
If you knew, you would know why they're not paying out.
Yeah.
So these guys are claiming to have insider info that the amount that this company was offering, ACR, was just so much money that xQc could tell it was suspicious, right? But these other content creators who don't usually take on gambling, sponsors, they clearly got enticed. They got roped in. They were like, holy fuck, that's a big number, dude. Really? This is what gambling? I cave. And so, yeah, man, I mean, everyone's got their price, right? That's the claim, at least. And in the case of a lot of Twitch streamers, it's interesting to just see that get exposed, right? It's fascinating to me, at least. Let's keep it going. These guys, this is fucking juicy. I actually fuck with this.
Like how much? Like just the same amount.
For me, it was like a normal sponsor, right? A normal thing. It was gonna be like two small stream segments. It was $1 million.
What? Yeah. What? That sounds mentally insane, bro. $1 million for 2 segments talking about it.
For like, I don't remember, like 4 hours.
What?
So imagine for everybody else.
The fuck?
And they all did it, and nobody got paid out.
Bro, I didn't realize the game was like this, that you could dupe a guy like Ludwig into taking that sponsor. And that's that's actually what he would expect. Like, he didn't think that was just a scam. That's insane. Twitch support. Okay, so this is Twitch. So people are basically saying, look, this is the Twitch official Twitter account, and they're basically just also signal boosting the event. Get your snacks ready because today is the day. Melly 3 at 12 p.m. PT. Catch it live. Twitch.tv/Mizkif.
Hello, people of Twitch. My name is Mizkif, and on Saturday at 2 p.m. CST, I will be hosting an MMA fight on my channel, twitch.tv/Mizkif. We're going to have amateur fighters, pro fighters. It's going to be completely free to watch. So if you would like to watch it, go ahead and tune into my channel at 2 p.m. CST. And if you want to co-stream it, you are totally allowed. I don't care. So if you want to co-stream the event, go for it. It's totally free to watch, and I hope to see you guys watching it, and thank you guys so much. Please tune in to Twitch. It's going to be really exciting. Thanks.
Okay, so that's not that telling. I mean,
people of Twitch.
Sorry, it's literally just showing that Twitch is like helping to promote the event. That's not that crazy. Mizkif and Pokimane think CSGO gambling and other games gambling is fine. It's like we had weed before, and now we have heroin. Okay, let's see.
Remember, didn't Twitch ban CSGO CSGO gambling? Didn't they ban that, chat? Have they banned it? Steam banned it. See, the problem is when people are saying ban.
Yeah, let's be clear. Another reason why that happened is because Steam preemptively foresaw the potential for regulation to come cracking into their homes. That's why Steam would ban gambling, right? And of course, there might be some staff who are like, okay, this is fucked up, but that's secondary, bro. It's secondary.
In gambling, that's such a slippery slope, and I do see that becoming a problem. I mean, with ban gambling, I mean, the thing is, like, CSGO skins and stuff, people gamble all the time. If you can find something that you can make into a to have value, it's very easy for a lot of other small things to pop up.
I actually disagree.
And I feel like it's whack-a-mole. No?
No, I disagree. I think we should just go back to how it was prior to the crypto gambling sites. Yeah, you can do like CSGO boxes, loot boxes. You can gacha on Genshin, and
okay,
are more than welcome.
Interesting. So Pokimane's basically cool with controlled gambling. She just doesn't like the crypto websites.
To argue whether that's okay or not, obviously that can be harmful as well. But it's like we had weed before and now we have heroin. You know what I'm saying?
I get that.
Like, what about the weed?
Look, I'm gonna just say it. There's coherence to that point. Okay, like that's kind of what I'm getting at in this at the start when I'm kind of prefacing. It's like there is a massive difference. Okay, there's still some hypocrisy, yes, but there's a massive difference between DraftKings being a sponsor on a fighting stream, right, where the stream is not actually just streaming the gambling, versus literally just streaming the fucking gambling for 10 hours a day, the slots, okay, and directly completely funneling people into crypto, right, gambling. There's a difference. Okay, you can debate the degrees of difference, but there definitely is. But anyway, update: Mizkif disabled channel points addictions to encourage his viewers to use DraftKings to gamble real money instead. I don't know what the fuck this means. I have no clue. I'm not a Twitch head, so I'm not really sure. Wishlist now on Steam, unrooted. Okay, and now it has there is a sponsorship for DraftKings right here. Okay, I mean, I don't really get what's crazy about this, but yes, okay, Mizkif is sponsored by DraftKings, right? Or at least his event is, or whatever, right? So I guess it makes sense they'd have a banner for it. Is he advertising it on his Twitch channel? Well, I mean, the event is hosted on Twitch, so obviously it is to a degree advertised on Twitch, and you just saw the banner. So yes, the answer is yes. What does this make you feel about Mizkif? Do you feel, like this is a case where he probably begrudgingly did this? Do you feel like this is a case just showing that he doesn't really give a fuck, and it was just kind of like a moral posturing that he wanted to take down kind of, the popular slot streaming? Or do you kind of like see his side? Do you basically see it as like, it seems like he was kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place, and if that was the condition for him being able to host this event, which is a fighting event, do you think it was a valid compromise, right? Like, he gets to host a fighting event, it's unique, it's interesting, but one of the sponsors is a gambling company. Is that a worthwhile trade-off to you? Kind of up to you, honestly. In my mind, I just view it as Mizkif doing his job, which is basically to not bite the fucking arm that feeds, right? He is just a loyal fucking Twitch streamer. He's loyal to Twitch, right? Like, he's just doing his job like the good doggy he is. So yeah, it's not him being evil, it's him being owned. His principles, when put at odds with the incentive structures presented to him, get trampled. Or you know, at least take a little bit of a back seat. I'm not gonna lie, in my experience, this is the case for most people, right? But yeah, give me your opinion. And as far as, you know, supporting your creators goes, all right, I don't have any sponsor, but we do have these brand new Hubert NPCs, okay? These physical items. It's a snow globe. There's no water in this one, but we are selling a limited supply of these. I also have a gold one. We have these NPCs that are custom made, okay? Very cool. And all you gotta do is go to gokamerch.com, all right, and sign up for the email list. That's all you gotta do. Once you're signed up to the email list, you will literally just be notified, only notified when these are available. And yeah, from there, you'll be in the loop, basically. You know what I mean? We also have, you know, some cool merch items, whatever. If you want to support your boy in my, I mean, I've yet to cave to any gambling sponsorship offers, okay? I'll eat a banana if you ask me. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, that's basically the best means to support me. For those who are inquiring, okay, buy my merch, gokamerch.com. All right, if you want to be involved in the community, if you're an artist, whatever, join my Discord. And if you want to watch a bunch of main channel content that has not been released yet, go to my Patreon, okay? Patreon.com/Gokanaru. Thank you very much for watching, and yeah, man, sign up for that damn email list, bro. These NPCs are fucking cool, and I hope that I can make money through making stuff instead of, you know, just taking on sponsors and not that I don't give a shit about, you know? We'll see what time reveals for me, but yeah, until next time, have a great week, okay? Mwah.